And opening day is tomorrow, where this is baseball eve. And I feel like this is a historic year, specifically in the National League.
Yeah.
With Juan Soto going from the American League to the National League, and guys getting healthy, and Bryce Harper getting grumpy because he doesn't have a ring yet, and he's got some incentive, and you just keep going down the list. Guys, I think this might be the greatest race ever. And I believe...
For National League MVP?
Yeah. We need to get ahead of it. And why wait until there's 2 months to go in the season? Let's give a weekly greatest race update every week and update you on who the front runners for
like the
NL MVP.
top 3, top 10.
Forget that. Let's go top 10. Yeah,
top 10.
I agree.
Okay.
Top 10. You want to dive into the top 10 candidates,
all right,
and then we'll come up with a creative way to anoint the favorite for National League most valuable player.
Are these your ideas, Greg?
No, come on, collaboration. Paul Skeens is number 10. Dan, are you okay with this?
Absolutely. He's one of the few starting pitchers that he's the man.
So you don't have him higher. You have him 10.
He's a pitcher. He's probably the only pitcher on the list. I don't know. It's the greatest race ever. Oh, we got Diamondback. It's not Corbin Carroll. It's Ketel Marte. He deserves to be in this race.
Phenomenal turnaround of his career, picking everything at second, but the power is the difference. I mean, he's a 30-homer guy at second base.
Now, it's not just Soto going from the American League to the National League.
All right.
A guy named Kyle Tucker is going from the American League to the National League. He's in this race.
Big impact bat. If the Cubs have any idea of getting in the postseason or winning the Central, they need this guy, King Tut, to deliver.
What's the song they sing, Dan?
Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
They didn't sing it in Japan. They lost both games. Francisco Lindor is making this list. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, actually, last year, the turnaround he had the second half, he was in the vote to possibly win it. Now, remember, we're heading up the list a little bit.
He's only number 7.
No, that's a long way down for Francisco. He had a tremendous turnaround.
Fernando Tatis is in front of him.
I'm surprised you didn't take this one. This guy, he's been on your radar for like 5 years.
He's one of my favorites.
You think he is the best personality in all of baseball?
He's the coolest player in Major League Baseball.
He may be at the list of the most talented. From shortstop to seamless right field. Oh, talk about talented.
Do the inverse. Okay. He went from right field to shortstop. Mookie Betts has got to be on this list.
I think Mookie's the best player in baseball. Because you can put him in any position, he's an all-star.
He could play in any generation of baseball.
Yeah.
He is just a future Hall of Famer, Mookie Betts. So he is in our greatest race. I think incentive matters. I think the Philadelphia Phillies can hear the window slowly closing. They need to get Bryce Harper a ring.
I love your description. He plays angry, and I think he's going to play more angry than ever. Last 2 years have been disappointing for the Titans. This is the year. I feel like their window, that bully window, it's starting to close.
Another guy, if he doesn't get injured at All-Star, Bryce is on pace to win that MVP last year. And he came back at the end of the year last year, hurt, tried to drag his team to the playoffs, but he was already having a phenomenal season last year.
Okay, so am I on to something? I think this is a relevant segment,
That's
right?
pretty deep.
The greatest race. Well, we have 3 names left.
Man.
And I don't know how to determine or anoint who is the favorite for NL MVP
There's only
right now.
one favorite, but
look, it's Elly De La Cruz. You got Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani. So, Dan, is there a way for us to do this properly?
We can just have the race.
What do you mean?
The great NL MVP race.
Oh, yes.
They're in the gate. We've got 3 starters, De La Cruz, Soto, and that guy, Ohtani. This is a short one, too. It's a quick sprint. Look at Elliott. Look at Soto. It's a Soto photo. Here comes Ohtani up the rail. It's Ohtani. It's Soto. It's Elly. It is Ohtani.
He's got all the parts.
He does it.
Wow.
This is only the first race.
So that means Shohei Ohtani is the official favorite for NL MVP. Soto's number 2. Elly De La Cruz, number 3. Well, we should have done this segment before MLB Central aired.
Yeah.
Because our dear friend Mark DeRosa said his favorite for NL MVP this year is Elly De La Cruz.
Really? That's a bold stance.
He was in camp, did 30 clubs in 15 days with the Cincinnati Reds, and he believes he's the most talented.
I'm with him.
You agree?
Well, there's a lot of talented guys. I want to walk over to short. Now, I had a glove, but Paige Sinicki, this Gold Glove shortstop for the Oregon Ducks softball team, took my glove. I don't even know where it's at anymore. But no, let's watch Elly. This is the biggest difference with this guy. I love all the things he can do. Switch hitter with power, and he's young. Now, here's the thing. When you're young, you make aggressive mistakes. You make things that you think you can make every play all the time. So his error totals are going to be high like they were last year. But as you get older, you mature, you learn the league, you learn how to position yourself. Those things get cut down. Let me take you to the tape and explain it. First of all, Greg, when we met this guy last year on the red carpet, what a stud.
I mean, he's up there with Fernando Tatis Jr., coolest
ripped
guy.
Up, 6'5", everything. He's got an amazing work ethic, and just his talent is off the charts. 6'5", 200 pounds, ranges, power, everything from both sides of the plate. Electric. This is what made us fall in love with him, because he can snatch bags, which we know he can do, but he can go first to third. He does everything. So, yes, when you start looking at the most talented guys, he throws 96 miles an hour across the diamond, even off balance like this. Stupid. But his talent gets him in trouble. So the first lesson you learn, don't take your defense to offense. So don't take your offense to defense. All right, this is after strikeouts, and he committed an error. Because what's he doing? He's thinking about his offense, and he's forced himself into errors. The next thing, don't try to be Superman. With his arm, it puts him in a position where he thinks he's a superhero. This is a ball Shohei Ohtani hits. It's not a double play ball. Ohtani's on top of the base before he turns it. He throws it away. You got to know the situation. Or this one, he bobbles it going to second. No, I'll go to first because I got a cannon. That's 2 errors on 1 play. All right, I'm already eliminating a lot of errors for him. The next thing, just be your natural talent. Don't overthink. Let your natural ability, your athleticism take over. And when he does, he's one of the best. I think sometimes what happens with young players, you make mistakes, you start overthinking. And I think that's been Elly's thing. The last thing, complete the game. It's a 12-0 game in Kansas City. You don't want this, right? Bad hop eats you up. Now I got 1 error. You got to be kidding me. Next ground ball to him, I got 2 errors in a 12-0 game. I just showed you 5 scenarios of errors. He had 29 last year. We can cut him down right there. He's down to 24.
I love that you're talking about this.
I can get him to 15 errors if I go back and look at last year's game.
I do not want him to get O'Neal cruised.
No, he can't.
I don't want him to be sent out to center field.
Figure it out at shortstop.
This is more of a message to the Cincinnati Reds than it is the rest of the field. Because he will cut his errors down. If he gets to 20, will you take that?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we saw Bobby Witt Jr. transform himself into a Gold Glove shortstop, and everyone was saying, he might need to go play center field. Like, give the guy a chance to improve. I'm very leery about this because they went and got Gavin Lux, and Matt McLean is a shortstop, and he's going to play second base.
Yeah.
I feel like if Elly De La Cruz gets off to a rough start defensively, they might make that.
I don't think it'll happen
in season.
Terry
put Lux at second.
I don't
put McLean at short.
I think Terry Francona, he has been on record thinking he thinks that Elly De La Cruz could be one of the best players he's ever managed. They're going to give him every chance to figure it out at shortstop.
All right, this is fun. This is the greatest race, and I feel like we left a few people off of our list.
You left one off, my favorite guy, Freddie Freeman. How can you leave Freeman off?
The ankle.
What does he have to do?
Ankle, man.
How'd you lose Ronald
What more does he
Acuna
have to do? Hit a home run, like a
Greg.
grand slam to win Game 1 of a World Series? Oh, I forgot he already did that. Come on, Greg.
Oh, yeah, but timeout.
Wait till you meet up with Freddie again.
We're talking about guys that can do everything.
And Freddie likes you. He used to.
I love Freddie. Freddie loves me.
Yeah, but
He
you didn't
did.
add him on the MVP list?
I can only do 10. All right, who would you take off? Oh, you don't want to play that game.
We don't have to. You do.
you mentioned Ronald Acuna Jr. I wanted to put Ronald Acuna Jr. on this list, but he's not going to start the season with the Braves. He's going to miss some time.
A week.
And what are they getting when Acuna comes back? Is he going to be the dynamic leadoff hitter that steals 70 bases again? That's his second knee injury, Harold. I don't know, man.
He doesn't need to steal bases. That's the thing. He can and he will, but he doesn't need to steal 70 to be dynamic.
So you think he should be in the greatest race?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm with
One of
you,
the best
Harold.
players
He
in
doesn't need to
baseball.
steal 70. He just needs to have the ability to steal one when it means something. You're thinking the money bag.
The money bag.
When he needs to get into scoring position with 2 outs, does he still have that speed? I think he's going to run, but he's going to pick his spots more than just taking off when he gets on.
And everything he does affects the Braves. Everything. You put him in the lineup, you got to know where he's at. You got to pitch around him to the situation. He'll drive in runs. He'll steal a bag to score a run. He'll score from first base. He can hit a home run.
We hope. We don't know. We haven't seen him run yet.
I watched him in spring training. He's
At the
moving
same
good.
speed? All right, we'll see. So it looks like we got an amazing race. The greatest race has 12 players, not 10. Can I add another one?
Who you got?
Have you guys seen Matt Chapman play this spring?
He's been fantastic.
Based on wins
I watched-
above replacement, he was one of the best players last year. Offensively, he has taken his game to another level. Ton of home runs. Apple power, by the way.
Yes.
So far this spring. And I was in camp with the Giants.
Arizona.
He came out and did a demo with Mark DeRosa. He's wearing a cutoff T-shirt. I mean, he looked like Dan Plesac junior year of high school, like jacked.
He must look pretty good.
I mean, you
No.
can't possibly remember every opening
No,
day.
I remember that one, and I remember my second one in 1987. It was cold, it was dreary, and you're in the dugout, right? And they're doing the introduction, so everybody gets lined up in numerical order, right? And the PR director, Tom Skybosh, he would make sure that you were lined up. So I figured, I knew I had to follow number 36 because I was number 37. So you're waiting there, and it's loud. They're doing the introductions, and the Red Sox were already out on the foul line, all the Red Sox players. And they called my name, and I couldn't hear, and Tom Skybosh goes, "Go!" And like your biggest fear, I hit the top step, do a header. Completely face plant. So now you're in the all-home whites, right? So both of my knees are covered with like orange gravel. I scraped both of my hands on the warning track, and I remember standing on the foul line, and I don't want to make eye contact because you're looking right at the Red Sox. They're on that foul line. So they're on the third baseline, we're on the first baseline, and I get there, and I turn around, and I see Roger Clemens, who I played summer ball with in Hutchinson, Kansas. He can't even keep a straight face laughing, and all I remember, I was so embarrassed. I remember Bruce Hurst making eye contact with me, looking at me like going, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?"
So, hey, and the best part of the story is this is the day and age where you had one set of home whites. There were like 3 sets of uniforms like now. So I had to wear that uniform. I pitched in that game, and I remember taking my warm-ups thinking, all the guys on the Red Sox are going, look at that guy, man. Look at his knees. He's got dirt on the knees of his pants. It was the most humiliating opening day ever.
You're pitching to Jim Rice and Dewey Evans, and you've fallen on the warning track.
Yeah, it looked like I did a Pete Rose head first slide into third base.